Kenny, Tristan, just overall thoughts on the event and the jersey and the new logo marks.
Uh, Overall, no, this is a great event. Just to get a chance to reveal the new jersey to the front the organization, and we one of the first two guys to be able to see it. Truly excited, about the design, and all the history behind it.
Yeah, once again, great event to kind of kick things off. Really fun, really exciting stuff that we saw, and can't wait to get out there on the court with them.
And you've worn a lot of jerseys in your career.
Not many, but we won't talk about it.
Yeah. Where do these rank, and especially someone who's been in the league for a while? The team kind of call back to an original jersey.
I'm about to say this is number one for me because of the history behind it. I've always loved the pinstripe since Shaq and Penny. And like I said, this is top for me. Just the design and just adding a new little touch to it as far as new school. I'm excited, about the new uniforms.
Tristan, you mentioned you had a Shaq jersey growing up, I think.
Yeah.
Just what do you remember about that era and the fact that you get to be the first to wear the callback to that era?
Just iconic. Everybody knows those jerseys. Everybody knows that team. And the potential of that team and the great things that they've done for this organization. So it's really just honoring that legacy that they left behind, kind of reconnecting with the initial setup of the team and just like the roots of the Orlando Magic.
This team has been building towards the future. It's got this core, and it seems like it's on the cusp of doing big things. This might be a stretch, but does this feel like somewhat of a new era, a different era, as you guys move ahead with your goals?
I think so, and I think that was one of the goals that they were trying to get out as far as just bringing a new era. The team is going in a new direction as far as just on the upcome. I think this new uniform, new logo, I think is just like Tristan said earlier, just a new chapter for us, and we're excited and we're here for it.
I know Alex said that they've been working on this to redesign for 3 or 4 years. You guys have only been here for one season. Did you as a group, as players, have any input on what this might look like, or did they come asking about it at all? Or was this a surprise when you showed up?
We were surprised to even just be asked, to be able to, be honored to reveal it. We've heard, just stories about it, and how cool they look. But other than that, this is the first time we've seen them. We've had a chance to just look at them.
All right, Alex, just take us on through your thoughts. You've seen the Magic go through their evolution logo-wise. What are your thoughts on this one overall?
It's a great day. It really is a little bit of back to the future, which is great. Bringing back sort of the iconic elements of Orlando Magic branding from the early years, the broad pinstripes on the uniform, the star in the name, the trailing stars on the ball. All of those elements that our fans told us through our research process that they really felt that those were the best brands of our time, of the history of the organization, and they wanted to see them back. So it really is a modernization of those original logos, and something that our fans told us that they really wanted.
Can you talk to what goes into a logo, the brand recognition that it has for fans, and how important it was to meld the old school and the new school?
Well, look, it's the identity that a fan connects with a team, right? And the pride that they show in wearing a jersey or wearing a T-shirt or a hat or any sort of logoed merchandise. So it's their pride, it's their connection to the team. A lot goes into it. This was a 4-year process, and it took a long time. We have to work with agencies, we have to do our market research, and we did that. We met with fans, we met with our staff, we did industry analysis. We worked with our partners at Nike, who are an important element of this because they are the exclusive uniform manufacturers for the league. And then you have to go through all your league approvals, etc. To be honest with you, I'm shocked that this remained a secret for 4 years. We thought for sure that this was going to get out before we unveiled it today. But hopefully our fans are happy with it, proud of it. And, based on the feedback that we got from them during the process, I certainly think that we've delivered something that they asked us for.
What does it say about the loyalty of fans that they're still nostalgic for pinstripes and a star that, were big decades ago?
I think logos associate with success and, the eras of a team where they're most successful on the court for us. And certainly, the trailing stars on the ball and the broad pinstripes, for the most part, take you back to the Shaq and Penny era, right? And it's arguably one of the two most successful eras, in our history. And so fans connect with that, and as kids grew up, in this market, and Shaq and Penny were playing, and we're successful, we're going to the finals. They were wearing those logos. They were wearing that merchandise, and it takes them nostalgically back to their childhood and to success and to happy times, in our community and on the court. So I think that's why fans really associate with those logos so much, and why they told us that they were the most popular and the ones that they would like to see us bring back. And just to bring back the old logos probably wouldn't have been the right decision, because that was the logo for that era. But to modernize it, I think brings back, that nostalgia and that connection to, great times in our organization's history and our community's history. And you bring out the modern elements to it that hopefully will bring along a whole new generation of Magic fans as they grow up during this era, and hopefully an era that's going to be as successful as we saw back in the early 90s.
Alex, can you kind of look at this as a rejuvenation for the franchise? You get this new logo, you got a roster with really good young talent, and everybody can just kind of push from here.
It certainly signifies a rejuvenation. Certainly the team on the court is improving. We've seen it improve over the course of the last couple of years. I think this season would have been much improved if we were healthy. So, a little bit of a pause here in that, but certainly with a healthy roster next year, we expect that improvement to continue. And this just goes hand in hand alongside with it, and hopefully leads to great celebration and great times and great moments here, at the Kia Center and in our community. And as we strive to do what, we're in this to do, and that's to win a championship. And hopefully all of this comes together in this era, in this time. And it's just very exciting to have this new look and this new refreshed excitement about what we wear, what the players wear, and how we represent this team.
It took 4 years in the making. Is there a specific reason why this season is a go, a green light, or is it just because that was the final of its investigation of the fans and stuff?
Yeah, it's just when it's the culmination of the whole process, and the part of the process is league requirements and what you have to go through leading up to it. Nike, for example, needs a couple of years in advance in order to manufacture these uniforms. It was the same when we were doing a lot of our City Edition uniforms. We actually designed those a couple of years in advance of when they actually, came onto the court. So it's just the process, and the process generally takes about 4 years when you're completely changing your team's brand. There's a lot that's involved in it. There's hundreds and maybe thousands of NBA licensees. It's everything from a keychain to a T-shirt to a hat to uniforms. There's thousands and thousands of items that the Orlando Magic logo appear on. And so all of those manufacturers need that lead time in order to be ready for this season. A lot of the merchandise is available beginning today, but some of it will still be in production over the course of the next couple of months in anticipation and to be ready for the beginning of next season.
Is the City Edition on a different track? Does the jersey reveal affect the new City Edition, or anyway?
No, the jersey reveal doesn't affect the new City Edition anyway, and we're in pre-order for these jerseys. Even with this 4-year lead-up time, the jerseys are still in production overseas, and hopefully we will have them in time for the season, but they're currently in pre-order.
Is the store open to the public with this stuff, and like the Targets and all that? Do they have their stuff?
The store, our team's store, is open with this merchandise in it as of today, and all of the local stores should start to unveil this merchandise beginning today and moving forward in the coming days.
What do you do with the old jerseys?
we'll have we're going to have an Orlando Magic Youth Foundation sale of all of our old logo merchandise. So stay tuned. We'll have an announcement about when that happens, and all the proceeds will go to the Orlando Magic Youth Foundation.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
And how exciting of a day is this to unveil the logo to fans and to an event here today?
Incredibly exciting. You know, this has been a legacy and an amazing opportunity to steward this franchise on behalf of the city as a family for 34 years now. And so to be able to step into that next era of Orlando Magic brand identity, Orlando Magic basketball, in a really exciting time. And so to be able to honor that legacy and look towards the future, fantastic.
This has been a 4-year process. What's that process like? You know, knowing that you're working on this, and it just has to go through all those approvals and finding the right word mark, the right logo, the right thing that connects with the fans.
Yeah, you know, it was listening to fan feedback, sentiment on social, a number of different focus groups with our fans, with our staff members, talking to the family. You know, family's been around this thing for a long time now, and so what's their take, their impression of the Magic brand, and how do we take that forward? And, you know, Magic is, if you don't want to do kind of the rabbit out of a hat, it's a somewhat nebulous concept, and so how do you kind of have to look back on 36 years of Orlando Magic history and try and take some of that and move that into the future. And so that's really what the process looked like. And then it was working with Sky and his whole group, who were absolutely fantastic. And they really helped bring it to life. And Shelley Wilkes really spearheaded this thing and did a fantastic job pulling all the pieces together, and her entire team crushed it.
As a member of the family, do you kind of look at rejuvenation for the franchise? You got a new brand now. You got a team with really good young talent, and everybody kind of get together and push forward from there.
Yeah, you know, I touched on it. It's a legacy for us, and my grandparents, you know, when they became stewards of the team 34 years ago, it's something that now, you know, myself and the rest of our third generation really take seriously. Is how do we continue this legacy and move it into the future? And so we do have a fantastic young core that we're really excited about. They're bringing the energy on the court, and so we looked at this as a really great opportunity to bring the energy off the court and have something that's truly iconic that we can take globally and continue to deepen our roots in Central Florida.